Thank you. Ms. Lee. Gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, thank you for affording me the opportunity to explain my request to you to consider including in the fiscal 14 Defense Authorization Act. I want to thank all of the members for this chance to be with you today. I have a number of recommendations that I will quickly address and for which I strongly urge you to look at, support, and hopefully include. I have also submitted my full set of remarks for the record. First, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you very much. I am concerned that this bill may not contain language prohibiting permanent military bases in Afghanistan. As signed into law on numerous occasions by both former President Bush and President Obama, Congress has maintained a long-standing prohibition on the establishment of permanent military bases in Afghanistan. I request you to consider and include in the 2014 Defense Authorization Act that this be brought clearly in line with the no permanent bases provisions which historically have been included into the defense authorization and related appropriations measures. Secondly, it should come as no surprise that I share the belief of many in the Congress that there is no military solution in Afghanistan. As the daughter of a military veteran, I also know firsthand the sacrifices and the commitment involved in defending our nation. Our troops have done everything that was asked of them and more. But the truth is that their mission in Afghanistan is far past due, and we should be withdrawing all of our troops and military contractors as soon as safely possible. In addition to auditing the Pentagon, which I will touch on in a few moments, it is important that the Pentagon face the same financial constraints that all other government agencies are being subjected to. I am deeply concerned that the Pentagon is already seeking an exemption from the sequestration cuts mandated by Congress as part of the deeply flawed legislation that, of course, I could not support last year. I urge the committee to consider common sense defense spending reforms outlined by many organizations across the political spectrum. With billions each year lost to waste, fraud, and abuse at the Pentagon, we need to ask the same of the Department of Defense that we ask of other agencies. Also, Mr. Chairman, I am deeply concerned to hear about a possible expansion of the 2001 authorization to use force. As you know, Congress has a solemn constitutional obligation to deliberate and authorize all war-making and hostilities abroad. If the executive branch is seeking expanded war-making authority, let them request it and let us engage in a full and transparent debate with the proper committees proper committee hearings, and also with members of Congress who should be afforded the opportunity to consider the full implications of an expanded AUMF. I am as deeply opposed to expanding the 2001 AUMF as I was against authorizing the original one on September 14, 2001, when I cast the lone vote against it, because I knew then that it was a blank check to wage for war, that it really did erode our systems of checks and balances. We passed that with little debate, and it removed Congress from our constitutional responsibility, again, in matters of making war. Lastly, on the AUMF issue, in addition to my opposition to expanding the 2001 AUMF, now is the right time really to repeal this overly broad 2001 AUMF. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I ask your committee to consider creating financial consequences for the Pentagon unless the Defense Department subjects itself to an audit as it's required to do by law and as all other federal agencies regularly do. I urge the committee to take a first step toward compelling the Pentagon to act with urgency in assuring fiscal responsibility in our defense dollars. As the only federal agency not subject to audit, the Pentagon has lost tens of billions of dollars to waste, fraud, and abuse. Thank you again for the opportunity to testify, and I strongly request you to consider these requested changes to the bill.
Thank you very much.